All right, I'm gonna turn that off. How's it going, everybody? I'm gonna go ahead and move to the next slide here. So this is my promise to you guys. I'm gonna come back in the slides. So when it's a lot of text, I'm gonna make it full screen for you, and I can kind of pop back and forth. Today is all about feeling amazing about social media. It's about feeling like you know what to do when you log on, and to help you let go of the feelings of overwhelm, overstimulation, oversaturation. Social media marketing has a way of kind of making us feel like our business owns us and not the other way around. So we're going to change that today. I want you to fall back in love with social media, and I want you to use it in a strategic way, and then get back to the reason why you started your business in the first place. Does that sound good to everybody? You're like, yeah, prove it. How are you going to do that? I know everybody's in different stages of their business. I would love to hear a little bit from you guys, what stage you're in. So some of you are maybe thinking about starting a business and you want to do it right from the beginning. Some of you might have a hobby or a side hustle or something, a passion that you love to do and that you love to create it into a business. Maybe you are using social media with it right now, but you haven't taken it seriously. Maybe now's the time. Or maybe you have an established business and you just kind of are ready for like a refresh. You're just feeling a little down. Maybe you've been in business forever and you're a little late to the party. And this is a quote that I have hanging up on my wall right there. And it says, knowledge is not power, applied knowledge is power. So how many of you guys listen to business podcasts, read books all the time, and you're just constantly consuming, learning, and then maybe not always doing the things you learned? Maybe you're like, oh, that's a really great idea. Maybe I will try that someday. And then you write it in your notebook. I have like 4 notebooks full of stuff like that sitting over there on my desk. So don't worry, you're not alone. What I want to do is give you that knowledge, and then hopefully you guys will feel empowered to apply it and actually see results. So this is my favorite quote. I had to share it with you guys. I wanted you to write it down yourself so that it really resonated. All right, so I'm going to zoom through these reasons really quick. Reason number 1 why you might be here is social media feels like a waste of time, not like real work, and you find yourself saying, I would rather spend my time on the profit generating tasks in business that I can measure and the things that are already putting money in the bank. Anybody feel it? Does anybody feel that? Anybody feel like if you're sitting on your phone, like you're like, your husband's like, or your wife is like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm working. And they're like, no, you're not, you're on Instagram. And you're like, no, I'm working. It's like, but even you don't really feel like it's real work. Do you feel that guilt? No, but clients always say it. Yeah, it's a real vibe because it started out that way and now it's a real thing. Reason number 2, maybe you've seen the power of social media already at work in your business, but you often get discouraged that it feels like you're putting too much energy into it and not seeing enough growth. Who feels like you're just constantly putting in, depositing, and then never getting anything back, right? Yeah. Okay, we all feel that. Okay, reason number 3, you feel like you're late to the party and you've never really leveraged social media in your business. You might feel overwhelmed about how to use it and you've resisted it long enough. And that one is definitely my mom. It's overwhelming, I know. And the thing is, if you started social media like 15 years ago when they rolled out Facebook with like barely any features, and they kind of gradually added features every 6 months or whatever, well, here we are after 15 years of new features and things being changed all the time. And if you're just getting started with social media, like, whoa, like, no, I can't figure all of this out at the same time. Like the rest of us we're slowly, like gradually introduced to all these new things. So we understand that it can be really overwhelming. So we're here for you guys, no matter what level you are. But really quick, just a number 1, 2, or 3, and if it's something else, let me know. And this is all really just helpful for us so that I can make sure and tailor the examples that I use to the people that are on here. So number 1, you feel like social media is a waste of time. Number 2, you feel like you're not getting back what you're putting in. And number 3, you just haven't really started doing it ever and you're overwhelmed. All right, so whatever your motivation is, yeah, we're here for you. We totally understand, we totally agree. I'm gonna start off with a mindset section of this. I'm gonna debunk some myths of social media. I'm gonna change the way you guys think about it. I'm gonna make you super stoked and excited to move forward. And then I'm gonna teach you strategy. So we're gonna do mindset, then we're gonna do strategy. I'm gonna show you exactly what I think you should do with your time on Instagram so that you can, not get sucked into the vortex of like scrolling. That's coming later. So 95% of our business comes directly from social media. Yes, I would say 100%, but I can't 100% stand behind that fact. But all of our business comes from social media in some way. So maybe it's from somebody actually seeing an Instagram post and hiring us. Maybe it's from a friend who's hired us in the past, referring us to someone else by sending them our profile, or they just text them and say, hey, you've got to work with Ampersand. They're going to go look us up on social. They're going to decide at that point if we are, if they're interested, if we capture their attention. Maybe they saw us from a Facebook ad. Maybe they found us on Google and clicked to our website through that. Any of those things are all it's all social media at work right now. So since it's such an important tool for driving business to us, we have created systems in our business that can be duplicated just like anything else. Everything in your business should have a system created around it. Whether it's your bookkeeping, your emailing, for us, like our photo editing, whether we're outsourcing stuff or doing it ourselves, everything has to have a system. And so why do we not think about social media that way? It has to be a system or it's going to rule you. It's going to totally consume your life if you don't have a system in place. So that is what I'm all about. And I'm guessing that's what you're about too. And if you feel like you kind of have this endless passive way of using Instagram, that's what we're about to change. One undeniable thing that I've learned about literally everything in life is that if I go into a new practice, a new skill, anything like that, or even just going into a meeting, going into a conversation, a photo shoot, anything like that, it's all about your mindset. So if you have a crappy mindset, you're going to have a crappy result. So one of my favorite books is this one, Brendon Burchard's High Performance Habits. I love what he talks about kind of before you enter a room before you leave your car to go into your house after work, before you see your family, all these things. If you can kind of be self-aware enough to say, I'm going into this new environment, this new situation right now. What do I want my mindset to be like? How do I want to show up for these people? How do I want to show up for my kids? How do I want to show up for my people on Instagram? And so, first of all, everybody needs to read this book, over and over and over. But second of all, try that. Anytime you find yourself about to go do your social media work, stop and reset your mind really quick. And I'm gonna kind of go into that right now of exactly how I want you to train it. But first we have to identify the problem. So prompt number 1 on your worksheet, if you guys want to take a second to write this down. Dear social media, sometimes you make me feel, fill in the blank, because gosh, sometimes it makes us feel like crap. There's all these studies out there about how depression is linked to social media, and we're always comparing ourselves. And there's so many negative feelings that come up around social media. So I want you don't have to type it necessarily. You can if you want to, but mostly I want you to just kind of reflect on this for a minute for yourself. How does it make you feel when most of the time? Maybe not all the time. Maybe sometimes it makes you laugh and it makes you happy. But overall, what's your baseline here today? Because I want you to be able to see where you started today and then where we end up. About that for a minute. And this is everything I ask you today. I want your first thing that pops into your head. I don't want you to mull on it forever. Or I don't want you to say, oh, I'm going to write, but I think the right answer would be. No, you've got to be honest with yourself. Remember, be authentic and go all in. So really, really, how does it make you feel? Here are some common beliefs, some things that we get from people. Why am I not getting more followers? why am I putting all this effort in, but still nobody's liking or commenting? I don't have anything interesting to share. Why would anyone care about my boring life? And last, 1, 2, 2, 3. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is the Instagram algorithm hiding my posts, and why are they out to get me and ruining my life? I've actually totally said that before. Before I move on to the next slide, I'm gonna just riff for a second. All of those questions that you ask yourself, why am I not getting more followers? Why is Instagram out to get me with the algorithm? Yada, 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 whatever. We have got to stop asking those questions. Those are the wrong questions, totally the wrong questions. And those answers to those questions just don't freaking matter at all. They just don't matter. Like, just, I know it's easy to say that and like really feel it in your, or harder to feel it like in your bones. But here's the thing. If you want more followers, there's a million websites. You just go and type in Instagram followers. You can pay $20, get like 1,000 followers, and instantly download it into your Instagram. There are a lot of people out there doing that, like a lot. Probably a lot of people that you're comparing yourself to have done it that way. They've purchased followers, they've purchased likes and comments, and they have bots doing it because it's making their accounts look bigger and better and giving them that social cred that they think is going to propel them to the next level. And for some types of businesses, maybe that is valuable. But if you are a small business and you are using Instagram to actually bring you new clients, it doesn't matter. So I'll tell you guys, our Instagram account, our Ampersand Studios Instagram account, we have a decent following on, not in the realm of Instagram, but like over 11,000 followers. We built that, you know, throughout that 10 years I've been telling you about in our business, where we were a paper store, we were wedding photographers. So we have people following us there that maybe what we're doing now isn't really necessarily what they came for. So we don't have like a huge, crazy engaged group of people. And it's so when you go and look at an account, or if you feel like us, sometimes like I feel like, oh my gosh, we have all these followers, but like nobody likes and comments, and it makes me feel really down about myself. And then I have to remind myself what actually matters. So instead of asking, why am I not getting more followers? Why am I putting in all this effort and nobody's commenting? I don't have anything interesting to share. Why would anybody care? And why is the Instagram algorithm out to get me and hiding all of my posts? Here's the questions I want you to ask instead. First of all, have you been showing up consistently? Because if you haven't been showing up consistently, then, you know, forget it. Like, it's not even worth like wondering why it's not working. That's why it's not working. Number 2, do you have a clear brand message? Do your people know what to expect from you? Do they know who you are, what you stand for? Are you funny? Are you serious? Are you sad? Are you sappy? Are you whatever? All the things. Are you motivational? Like, if you said something that, if you stole somebody else's words and said them, would your people be like, that's not normally what she sounds like? That should be, your brand message should be that clear to where people would know if you were stealing somebody else's words. Do they know exactly what you offer? Is it clear enough that it's not confusing? Okay, how many new inquiries and clients have you gotten in Q1 in 2020 from social media? These are the questions that matter. These are the questions you need to be asking instead of like, why do I not have more followers? How many of those people that inquired came from Instagram? I'm not talking about actually hired you. I'm talking about inquired with you, because if they inquired with you, Instagram did its job. If they didn't hire you, that means that you did a crappy job selling them after they inquired. You get the customer in your door, that's the hardest part. If you can get them to walk in your door, you're either not giving a good enough product or you're not good enough at sales. But actually getting the people in the door is Instagram's job. So it's doing its job if you're getting inquiries. How many new clients do you actually need every month to reach these goals? Like, do you need 1,000 new clients? No, I definitely don't need 1,000 new clients. I want like 1 or 2 a month, you know, like for the types of services that we offer. If you're a retail store or something, maybe you do want thousands of people a month or hundreds of people a month. But really, that number that is growing in your thing, like, does not directly relate to your customers. It's quite the opposite, actually. What is the maximum number of clients that you could serve? Even if you're doing online courses like this, like I could serve a lot of people with a format like this. But there is kind of a maximum. There is like a limit, right? Think of a person or a business that you have conducted business with in the past month. How did you find them? Did you find them on Instagram? Did you find them on Facebook? And then here's the kick. Here's like, this is going to change your life, I think. Do you like, comment, and interact with that business on a daily basis? Or have you even ever? Think about a business that you have hired recently. Think about, like, I don't know, if it's a salon or a restaurant or anything like that. Not necessarily hired, but given them your business. Maybe it's somebody that you found on Instagram. Maybe it's a place, an ad that popped up and you bought like a pair of shoes. Anything like that. Like, I bought a phone case from a company because of an Instagram post, right? I don't follow them. I don't comment on their posts. I don't like their posts. I don't engage with them every single day. Here's a really funny thing that I can give you guys some proof right now. Pretty much everybody in this chat right now who's here with us, you guys found this because of social media. And there's a lot more people in here in this room right now than what comment and like and engage with us on a daily basis on Instagram. In fact, we have people inquire with us and say, oh my gosh, I follow you on Instagram. I know everything you guys are doing. I've got it all memorized. Like, I totally love you guys. I'm obsessed. And we're like, oh my gosh, we've like never, you're not on our radar. We've never, like, this person never comments on stuff. They never send us DMs. They never like, or maybe they like stuff, but we don't, they're not engaging with us enough for us to notice. So how many of you have had this experience where either you are kind of the ghost follower, or you've been hired by someone who said they found you on social media, but they aren't like a fangirl? Like, would you rather have a fangirl or a quality client who's kind of like silently checking you out? We start feeling really discouraged and down when we don't have the fangirls and boys, right? Like, we're like, why isn't everybody freaking out over this? Isn't that kind of silly when you think about this way? I want to ask you guys to think about this thought really fast. Who remembers the phone books? Anybody remember phone books? My parents are real estate agents. My mom and dad are a team. They're amazing. They've been in business forever, like back when there was phone books. They would advertise in the yellow pages of the phone books. Crazy thing about that is phone books, newspapers, or direct mail, all of these ways that we used to advertise, right? We had no way of measuring the engagement that people had with these ads. Like, we were paying actually a lot of money for them too. They were way more expensive than being able to use social media. There's no way to measure how many eyeballs saw that ad on that piece of paper. There was no way to measure how many people tore it out and put it on their fridge. There was no way to measure how many people like told their friend about you or shared it with someone else. You pay the money, you put it in there, you are hoping that it gets noticed on a page with a bunch of other ads for a bunch of other people in the same category as you, and have no clue if it's working unless someone picks up the phone, calls you, and says, I saw you in the yellow pages. That's the only way that we knew if it worked. Like, or if it was even getting seen at all. And it was expensive. Like, I don't know, if you guys are sitting there thinking like, oh, the good old days, like, no. Social media is amazing. It's given us the most amazing opportunities as business owners to have a free, like a totally free, like best tool ever invented for business, for marketing, ever. And it's free and it's right here. And it takes me like a few minutes to get the same exact message out that it would have taken me to, you know, design an ad, write an ad, submit it, pay for it, see a proof, approve the proof, wait for a phone book to get printed, and then redistributed every, like, what, 6 months or a year or something? Like, no, social media is so amazing. Like, it's so, so amazing if we use it right. And if we don't, like, let it destroy our lives, right? Or let it, like, suck us in. I got really excited when I kind of like thought of this analogy and this idea. And I really kind of like journaled on it for a minute. So I don't know, it's just, think about that. It's at our fingertips. It's so simple and you can use it 100% for free. Yes, you can put money behind your posts. Yes, you can run ads. Lots of companies spend lots and lots of money on ads on Facebook ads, which is actually very smart, and we do too. But you don't have to be successful. Whatever point in your business you are and however much money you want to spend on marketing, you don't even have to spend a penny. There are lots of businesses that have gotten tons of results on social media without spending any money. So I want you to change the questions that you're asking yourself. No more asking yourself, oh my gosh, like, why don't I have more followers? Why am I losing followers and gaining followers and like my numbers staying the same? That isn't important. In fact, if you're losing followers, say la vie, bye guys, like, cool, there's the door. Don't hit yourself on the way out because you're not my people and you're not ever gonna buy anything from me. That's fine. There's a lot of people that I unfollow. If somebody doesn't want to see my stuff, I don't want to be pushing it in their face, you know? Yeah, vanity metrics, Nicole, it's so true. Think about it that way. All of those numbers are just our egos getting in our way and getting in our heads. So anytime you find yourself thinking that, I want you to reframe and think about the real question, which is, where are your clients coming from? And would you rather have a fangirl or a real client? Because your real clients probably aren't engaging with you on Instagram very much. They might be, but not the most of them probably aren't. All right, yeah, I'm not gonna repeat that one. Basically the same thing. Oh man, see, this is what happened. Like I got on my excitement train and then I just started yelling at you and I forgot that I had all these slides like that were gonna line it out for me. Repeat this mantra with me, or affirmation, mantra, whatever. I have control over how I use social, how it makes me feel, and how much time I dedicate to it, and whether I leverage it to drive my business. I have control over all of those things. Social media does not make me feel a certain way. It's like a robot computer. I make myself feel a certain way. So, gratitude is the new attitude. Who likes gratitude? Everybody's all about gratitude these days, right? Who has a gratitude journal? If you have a gratitude journal, I'm just throwing this in there right now. If you have a gratitude journal, start writing down social media on it. At least for a few days, try it. Because it's all like a mind game, right? It's like re-triggering in our mind, like, oh, I'm grateful for social media. What? That's a new one. I am so grateful for social media. Dear social media, thank you for the connections and opportunities that you've created for my business. You have given us a place where anyone can make it, regardless of their circumstances. And you're there for me in different ways in all stages of my business. I am grateful for the ease in which I can reach my ideal customers. If you guys can really, truly believe this, like at your core, it is going to wildly change the way that you use social media and the way that you measure what you're getting back from it. Anybody can make it with social media. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be anything. Like all you have to do is be consistent and be yourself. These are, I'm gonna make the screen big again here. Old things we used to say. This is hard. We're gonna swap that out for I can learn new things. Why does it have to be so confusing? I'm grateful that there are so many features that I can use. What does this button do? Let's try that one. Instead of saying, why is this so confusing? There's so many things what's a story? What's a poll? What's this and that? Test it out, try it. Old thought, it's exhausting to make one post. New thought, I can create efficient systems. Used to say, this is not working. New, we're gonna say, I will test and find out what works. Also remember, it's working for you in the background, even if it doesn't show in the front, like it's always working for you in the background. So just make sure you're putting out evergreen content that people can go back and find later. Everyone else is doing it better. We're gonna reframe and say, There is plenty of room at the top. Can I get an amen? There is plenty of room at the top for me. If somebody else is doing it better and crushing it, they are putting a lot of freaking time and energy and effort into that too. They did not do that overnight. I can't do it overnight either. I'm on a journey, and it's every day is getting me a little bit closer. There's room at the top for everyone. There's room at the top for me. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what I'm talking about. I'm talking to a blank screen, whatever. We're going to reframe that to someone needs to hear this today. Someone needs to see my product. Someone needs to see this tip. This is going to make somebody's day better. And if it's only one person, then that's all it takes. Jinx, Kristen. And then the last one, I don't want to bug people by posting too much. Here's the new reframe. They followed you. They followed you because they want to hear from you. So like they can always scroll past it. And here's another thing that I didn't put in this. Oh, I'm going to throw it out there right now. Statistically, Instagram says that 2% of your audience will see a post, a specific post. 2%. So if you're not putting out like as much as possible, if you're not a content machine and you're not showing up every day, they're not going to see it. Like a lot of people aren't going to see it, especially if your business account, they're going to show those people their friends and family's accounts first. Then they're going to start showing them in yours. So put it out as much as you want, as much as you feel like, as much time as you want to, dedicate to this. People are not going to feel overwhelmed by the amount of content because they're not watching everything. Don't flatter yourself. They're not seeing every single thing you do, unfortunately. And this is my favorite one, and I want you to repeat after me. Instagram is a tool for my business and nothing more. It does not have the power to make me feel bad. Only I have that power. I can set healthy boundaries and enjoy it. So Instagram's a tool for your business. It's like my camera. It's like a paintbrush. It's like whatever kinds of tools that you use in your business to do whatever. It's your sound. What is it, Kristen? That you're like your mixing board is the same exact thing. It helps you conduct your business. It brings you business, and it gives people a look into your life. It's your little section of the internet. Make sure that you don't give it too much power. It doesn't have power over you. All right, here's the activity, and you can fill in the blanks on your worksheet if you want to. So how much time do you currently spend on social media? Does everybody know how to find this in your phone? I want you to do this. You don't have to post your results. If you go, I don't know about if you don't have an iPhone, I'm not sure how you do this, but if you do have an iPhone, go into your battery usage on your phone in your settings. See, I get a, here it is. Okay, so in your settings, right? Whoa, hello. You're gonna go down to this little green battery icon. It's gonna show you how much time you spend. You can change it to the last 10 days. How much time you spend on Instagram. And I am pretty sure you're going to be shocked when you see this number. I mean, unless you're just not using it at all, then you won't be shocked. Find out what that number is and write it in this box. If you can, so I get those little, there might be another place in your phone you can get them, but I get these like little notifications at the end of the week that say, here's your time, your screen time for the week. Your average screen time per day is whatever, X hours, 5 hours a day, whatever that is. So if you can go, I mean, you might need to change this from hours per week to hours per the last 10 days, if you want to do that. And then I want you to guess, Nicole, 22% on TikTok. TikTok's like our new favorite place to hang out. Second favorite place because Instagram's #1. But how many hours a week are you spending on Instagram? And then I want you to guess, like an honest guess, how much of that time is like laser focused business percentage of that much time, and how much of it is personal or kind of just like mindlessly scrolling. And that's a guess. Obviously, there's no way for it to track that for us. Now I want you to think about how much time do you actually want to dedicate to social media? And how much of that time do you want to dedicate for your business and personal? It's not bad to mindlessly scroll. Maybe sometimes you need that. Maybe that's your escape. Maybe you like reading posts and articles and videos and seeing your friends' kids and your family and checking in. that's totally fine. But maybe if we can kind of like create some healthy boundaries for ourselves, and write them down so you can go back and check on yourself in 10 days again, see how it's going. We can schedule this into our days. We'll feel a lot better about it, and it won't make us feel those icky feelings that we talked about. So how much time do you want to spend per week on Instagram? And what I'm talking about is we should be showing up for our businesses every day. If you're using Instagram to drive business to your business, you need to be showing up every single day. I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty of that, but you don't need to post every day. You need to at least be showing up in your stories every single day. If you're like, oh no, I was really hoping she wouldn't say that, I'm so sorry, but it's really, really important for your business. Consistency is key. All right. I'm moving in to the algorithm talk because that's what everybody wants to know about. They want to know what's going on with the algorithm. That's what I wanted to know because we felt like there was this huge drop off in engagement lately. And while, you know, I'm a big believer, like everything I've been telling you guys, that engagement doesn't really matter. It's a vanity metric. What matters is the business is coming our way, and it continues to come our way. But sometimes you realize that all this work you're putting out, like you're not sure if anybody's even seeing it at all. And that's when it's time to go and kind of just check in, do a quick check-in with the Instagram algorithm. What has Facebook, because Facebook owns Instagram, what have they decided this year, this month, this moment, today, because it changes so much? What have they decided they want to make the priority right now? And that's something that we can use as a marketing tool to drive the way that we create content and the way that we share it, to make sure that our followers are seeing it as much as possible. If you try to beat the algorithm, you're going to lose. Like, they have the smartest people on earth and robots and computers and, I don't know, otherworldly sources that are coding this thing every day, right? Nobody knows how to beat it. Like, you're not going to beat it. You're going to get your ass kicked if you try to do that. But what we can do is read about it, test things, see what's working for us. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing these tests for the past about almost 2 weeks. I've been tracking my time that I've been spending on Instagram and figuring out which things work to get my content seen more. And I can see how well it's being seen by looking at insights. And after I finish this test, I'm going to stop obsessing over that because, again, it doesn't matter. But I was doing it as a test, and then I'm going to deploy that in my business, and we'll just go from there. I'm going to stop kind of like agonizing over those statistics. But I really wanted to find out what's going on right now with the Instagram algorithm. I read a lot of articles and watched some videos to kind of find out what it likes and what it doesn't like. And I'm excited to share those with you guys. So here we go. Number 1, back to our gratitude for Instagram. Since we're so grateful for all the things that it does for us, it keeps on giving us all these cool little presents all the time. It's giving us these gifts. It's like, here, use this to help your business. And then we're like, that's lame. Like, I don't like it that much. Like, can I have the gift receipt? And it makes it sad. It's like you give somebody a present that you thought you spent all this time and you knew it was perfect for them and it could help their business, and then they just ignored it. Like, so Instagram is a little sensitive and it pays attention to this. So it gives us all of these tools. It gives us different kinds of posts that we can do. We can do photos, videos, and carousel posts. It's given us IGTV. It's given us IG Live. It gives us all these fun filters to use. Gives us in stories every day. There's like a new story feature. There's stickers and gifts and polls and questionnaires and I don't know, little slider things, whatever, so people can show how excited they are about something. All of those things Instagram gave us because it wants us to use them, and it knows that our people will engage with us more if we do use them. So asking your audience what they want to see more of in their polls, asking them what's their favorite thing, what's their favorite, if you have a hair salon, what's your favorite hair trend right now? This or this, pick a poll, A or B. All these things, use these tools that it's giving us to get your people to engage back with us, because Instagram wants to know how well they work too. So they're kind of following along and they're going like, okay, this person's using that one. Let's see how well it works. Let's push it out to more of their followers. Let's get it going. Like, use all the things. Use your IGTV every once in a while. You know, that one's something you're not going to do every day. So kind of like sprinkle these things in here and there. It's going to help. I promise you. If you're doing the same thing every single day, don't expect any new results. Like anything else in life, why would we expect something to change if we don't change our habit? Okay, number 2, change your account to a creator or a business account. As far as the algorithm goes, I don't know. There's some myths and rumors and wives' tales about saying that personal accounts perform better than business accounts. Nobody really knows if that's true. It's impossible to test because you can't have the same account as one and the other at the same time. But change it to a business or a creator account. That way you can look at your analytics. We want to be able to see this stuff. All those other analytics, there's like a ton of analytics that it gives you. We don't need to obsess over all of them. What I want you to look at is what time your audience is active. If you go to your insights, click on audience and scroll down, it'll show you every single day of the week and what time of the day your audience is most active. For us, it's like around 3 o'clock, which is right now. So today we won't be posting at the right time because I'm here doing this, but what is the best time to post? That's when you should post. There are other apps, third-party apps that can show you this down to the minute, but I just use the Instagram one, right? I'm looking at how many people are clicking on my website. I don't care how many likes or shares or comments. Well, shares are actually kind of an interesting one to look at, but how many people are clicking on my website? That's the number I care about. If I have a specific post where the way I'm describing something, I get a bunch of people clicking to my website from it. That's the money right there, you guys. Like, you can just hear it like ching, 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 because every time somebody goes to my website, hopefully my website's doing a good job of converting them into believers, like people who are there. Now they're going to go and read about us. They're going to read about us. They're going to check out our services. Maybe they're going to inquire from there. But we're getting them out of Instagram and to our website. That is amazing. It's an amazing insight to be able to see. And you can see that for every single post. You can see it for stories, all that stuff. And I also look at the story actions. So I look at if people are swiping up on our story, or if they're clicking on the tags of the people that I've tagged in them, or if they're just exiting out of the story. Every once in a while, I'll go in and look at story analytics, just because, you know, it kind of just, it's information that is giving me back it's Instagram communicating back to me like what my people like. So it just kind of helps me when I sit down to create content. Like, okay, they really like it when I talk about it like this. They like it when I show up and speak, or over when I post a photo in my stories, etc. The only way that analytics will actually serve you is if your activity is consistent. You should be doing something every single day. So your analytics are just going to be like crap if you only post once a week. Like, you might as well not even look at them. They can't tell you anything if they don't have data to pull from. So be consistent, then your analytics can work for you. And this is huge. This is new-ish. If you already heard this, you are one of the people that are really paying attention to Facebook. But I'm going to make this bigger just so that since it's like kind of activity, happiness, fun, and love for Instagram is going to perform better on Instagram. I was hosting like a party, and I had like a stage with a microphone, and I invited someone to get up and talk about me. If I thought somebody was gonna get up and talk bad about me, or like complain about me, or say negative things about me, do you think I would give them the microphone? No. Check your vibes. If your post is not positive, if it's talking about Instagram in a negative way, I've tested this. I've tested it. I've put out a post where I'm like, Instagram sucks. Like, nobody got it. Nobody got served that post. I'm not kidding you guys. this is real. It has something combing your posts. It has this crazy smart robot reading every word you write, every picture you put out there, every hashtag you use, making sure that they make sense together, making sure you're not being spammy, and making sure that you're not talking shit about Instagram and Facebook. It's gonna kick you out of its party. It does this for ads. So if you are gonna create an ad, you have to be complacent with Instagram's and Facebook's branding standards. You have to like capitalize the word Facebook if you're going to use it. You can't use the word Instagram or Facebook together with other apps like TikTok or Twitter or anything like that. It's crazy. If it knows that when it's approving an ad, it knows it when it's scoring your post. Your post is actually given a score as soon as you hit post. So if you go back in and edit it, it doesn't matter. It's right when you post it. Right when you post it, it's scanning all of these things, it's collecting this data, and it's giving it a score. How much happiness and love and positivity is this post going to give? And if you're not getting a good score on that, then Instagram is going to put you to the bottom of the priorities. Isn't this crazy? Did you guys know this? It's focusing and looking for meaningful interactions. It's looking for originality and positivity. It can actually so did you guys know that, and if anybody's on TikTok, they have this new filter that you can do where it scores your smile. It can tell by how big your smile is and like how happy you are, all these things. It's looking at that. If you've got pictures of puppies, all that stuff. And if you're putting a doom and gloom, like, oh, poor me, whatever post, like your friends and family who interact with you all the time are going to see it, but it's not going to push it out for you. How to do this? You got to show your face and be real as much as possible. Don't do anything clickbaity. Don't use hashtags that are not relevant to your post. So like if you have a post of a picture of your product and you put like a hashtag puppies, happy puppies, you can't trick it like that. It's like, no, this is not a picture of puppies, you idiot. Like, I'm not going to show it to people who want to see puppies. Sorry. No, it's smarter than you. And going back to creating meaningful interactions, start conversations, ask questions. Do you like this or that? Would you guys want me to share about this? Would you like me to share about that? Like, what's your favorite thing? Like anything like that. If you want to be raw and vulnerable and talk about something that happened to you that's maybe negative, that's a little different as long as you're kind of coming at it with like a connection. Like if you're making a connection with people, then it's okay to be real if it's not happy all the time. That's okay. But we're not trying to make people feel bad. That's the point right now. Facebook doesn't want to make people feel bad. They want to make people feel happy because that's going to keep them in their app. Write original content about your business rather than hollow posting or just posting to post or cop-outs like, oh, it's National Macaroni and Cheese Day or whatever, or like a song lyric, or like I'm like no words necessary, like beautiful photo, right? Whatever, like just that kind of stuff isn't gonna get pushed out. It's not creating meaningful interaction. It's not making people feel great. I hope this all makes sense to you guys and is giving you some aha moments. Start engaging in a strategic way. So this is what I've been testing. This is what I really wanted to provide to you guys today is actual actionable like tips on how to use Instagram. One of the reasons that social gets a bad rap is because it sucks us in and we mindlessly scroll and we end up wasting too much time using it in a passive way rather than in an active way. So we want to activate our intentions. Like I said, like before you walk into the room, before you log in, like let's be self-aware enough to say, here's how I want to show up right now. And here's how I'm going to dedicate my time to this. I'm going to challenge you guys right now to use the amount of time that you set aside for social media every day in the next 1 to 2 weeks and track your results. You don't have to track every like little tiny thing, but maybe just write down like, okay, today I spent this much time and I did this type of engagement. And that way, after a week or two, you can go back and see which ones worked best for you. Here's my formula. This is my very scientific formula that I've been working on with all the scientists in the sciencey labs. Just kidding, but sort of. All right, how many hours per week for your business do you want to spend? Now, if you want to just do it Monday through Friday, totally awesome. We're going to say, like, let's say I want to spend 5 hours a week on social media. And I'm talking about on there, like with the app open in Instagram. Planning, writing, photographing, scheduling your posts is marketing. That is marketing for your business. That is a different thing. That is at least 3 hours, one time a month, sitting down to batch execute your planning. That's something else. That's something else entirely. I'm talking about sitting there with your phone in your hand and being on Instagram. So if you want to spend 5 hours a week, we're going to go with that if you're going to do it Monday through Friday, 1 hour a day, so 60 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. And here's how I want you to spend that time. 10% actually putting your post in. So it's already scheduled, it's already written, it's already has an image ready to go. You're going to spend 10% of your time uploading that into Instagram, putting in your hashtags, clicking post. You're going to spend 10% of your time responding to comments and DMs. And then you're going to spend 80% of your time strategically engaging. And I'm about to show you 3 different ways to strategically engage that I've found. So here's what that would look like if we wanted to spend 1 hour a day. So for us, our best time to post is at 3 o'clock, but let's say your best time is at 1 o'clock. So we're going to split up this time into the 3 sections. So if you've got 60 minutes, it's going to be 6 minutes of posting, 6 minutes of responding, and 48 minutes of engaging out of that hour. I know that feels like a lot of time, but you spend a lot more time than that. It goes away really fast without you even noticing it. So for 24, we're going to take that 48 minutes of engagement and we're going to cut it in half, and we're going to put half of it right before we post and half of it right after we post. Are you guys following? I know this is like we're going back to school. It's a lot. We're going to split up that 48 minutes, that 80% of our time that we want to spend. We want to sandwich our post right in the middle of that time, okay? If you just post and then upload it and then just get out of Instagram and go away, then it's like it's not gonna like have all this like momentum around it. So if you can create momentum on both sides of when you actually post it, it's gonna get seen by more people. You're probably gonna get a lot more engagement, and this is what I've found. So I split up that time. I spend 24 minutes before, 24 minutes after. I set a timer on my phone. I do not spend 1 second longer than that. And then when I'm done with that, I go back and answer any comments or DMs that I've gotten in that time while I've been engaging over the past almost an hour. And then I put my phone away. And if you want to save that 6 minutes for responding to like later in the evening so that you can respond to all of the comments, then you can do that later that night. That's totally fine. Just beware. If you get back on later in that night, you might get sucked in. So I like to just do it all. And then the rest of those comments and DMs and stuff can get responded to the next day. That's not a big deal. Also, right before you post that post, you're going to go to the last post you did the day before, and you're going to click the little hearts next to all the comments that people left you the day before. If it's only 1, do that. If it's 50, do it to all of them. Don't do them when you respond to the comments. Don't like them then. Like them. If you go back in and you like those comments on the post from the day before, it's kind of like it's going to send all those people a notification that says like, hey, Ampersand liked your post or liked your comment. Even if you already responded to it, doesn't matter. It's popping up in their notifications again. It's reminding them of you again, a separate time. So you want to have as many touch points as possible with your people. So if they commented yesterday, you responded to their comment already, that's 1 touch point. Now you're liking it, that's another one. And now they're going to go, oh, they posted something. They're on right now. I wonder what they're doing. And they're going to come over and check it out. So you're going to pick one type of engagement and stay focused on that the whole time. The whole 24 minutes before, and then the same type of engagement the 24 minutes after. One kind of engagement every day. And I'm going to teach you guys 3 different strategic engagement ways that you can do this. The first one, where is your audience hanging out? I'm a DJ. I'm a wedding DJ. Who is my audience? My audience is brides, right? When we do our course, we get deep into this stuff. Who is that bride? What's her name? How old is she? What is she? Other things does she like? Yada, yada, yada. But I'm just going to go general right now and call it a bride. So my bride is planning a wedding. She is hanging out on Style Me Pretty. She is hanging out on wedding photographers. She's hanging out on all these like wedding-y things. She's getting ideas. She's like all on Pinterest. She's following like inspiration accounts, whatever, right? Planners, florists, all this stuff. I want you to find those hashtags that bride's following, hashtag wedding ideas, hashtag bride fashion, I don't know, whatever. We're searching, we're putting ourselves in the place of our customer and finding the things that they're looking for. We're pretending like we're them being active on Instagram. We're gonna find those hashtags and those big accounts. This is huge. So Style Me Pretty, they've got like millions of followers, right? Well, I guess if you're a DJ, you're kind of like, you actually are looking for local people. So that's the other thing. If you're looking for local people, then you don't need to go wide and cast a wide net on these big accounts. If you're like us and we can serve people that live anywhere in the world, I'm going to those big accounts. That's where my people are hanging out. So I guess back to the wedding DJ analogy, let's say we are looking at other local wedding planners, wedding photographers, anybody like that, but we want to find the biggest audience that is in our local town, okay? So go to the person that's really crushing it. Because what's going to happen is they're going to be posts and people will be engaging with their posts. So they've already done all the work. They've got an awesome following. They've got engaged people. They've got people planning weddings. They've got people with friends planning weddings and other vendors who are in the wedding industry, like your bread and butter is other vendors. What you're going to do is you're going to go in their comments and hang out. Like you are just going to invite yourself to the party. You're going to like, it's like you're going into like a dinner party and you're going to like, you put your elbows out and you're going to wiggle your way in to the coolest people in the room, their little circle that they're in, their little circle. You're going to like butt your way in there and you're gonna be like, hey guys, I'm here. And you're going to start just, does this feel, is anybody like, does this terrify you? You're going to comment and answer people's questions. You're going to be a voice of knowledge when it comes to wedding DJing or events or how to have the best wedding ever. Like, so you're gonna go into the comments and you're gonna be like, oh, hell yeah. Like, oh, I totally agree with this. You're gonna get a little outside your comfort zone. And it's gonna be awesome practice for when you actually go to real life parties and networking events, because this is how you meet people. This is how you get new clients. This is how you network. It's social networking. So be social and network, okay? So you're gonna squeeze yourself in there. You're gonna respond to people's comments on somebody else's Instagram account. And no, they don't care that you're doing that. They freaking love you for it because you're boosting their stuff. It's getting shown to more people. They're getting more comments too. People are having conversations in their comments. They freaking love you for it. I promise. So like them, give them little hearts in the comments of people, other random people who are following them. Okay, make yourself known, answer questions, leave encouragement for other people, like their comments, and be a thought leader. So if there's a post about like first looks, like so there's a wedding photographer and they wrote a post about why you should do a first look. Let's have a DJ pop in there. What's your 2 cents on the top on a first look, Kristen? And instead of just answering the photographer, you can do that too. You can say like, oh, we love it when our couples have first looks because then they don't have to have their guests wait as long for photos in between the ceremony and reception, and we can get straight to the fun part. We can get straight to the dancing. So you're gonna pop into those comments and you're gonna start like chiming in on those conversations. And you can be like, oh my gosh, one time, like this wedding I was at last weekend, they didn't do a first look and their photographer had them for like 3 hours. Whatever, just get in their conversation and start it up, okay? This works. It takes some time to kind of like figure out your groove with it. Don't be weird, don't be creepy, don't just like go and put emojis in, like be lame, be real. And if you don't have a real comment to leave, then move on to somebody else. Spend a few minutes in each person's thing and then move on to a different account. So for us, like, you know, sometimes we'll go get up in, you know, big accounts like Create and Cultivate, like where I know there's a lot of creative entrepreneurs hanging out there. I find lots of new people that I like to follow and that are providing value back to me in those places. But mostly if I know that's where my customers are hanging out, then that's where I'm gonna go be in the comments. Okay, so first we're talking about where your audience is hanging out. Now we're talking about actually, let's go ahead and engage with that person, not engage, engage with that person's account, right? So, yep, this is awkward too, I know it. You gotta do it. It's like a cold calling strategy, and cold calling goes back to the beginning of time. So you're going to say, okay, my ideal client is like, I don't know, when I'm thinking back to like the wedding industry, I should probably move on to like a different analogy, right? Let's say I'm a hairstylist and I really want to do the head newscaster's hair. I don't know, like whatever, on your local radio station or TV station, not radio station, anything like that. Like, let's actually go to their page, or there's this business I really want to work with. Like, let's say I really want to work with, like, I don't know, like Simplot or something. I'm going to go give them a ton of love on their Instagram. Like big companies, little companies, if I want to work with more real estate agents, I'm going to go find Boise real estate agents and I'm going to start giving them some love. Don't be salesy on their page. I'm not going to go on their page and be like, hey, if you ever need a photographer, let me know. Like, no, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, that staging in that house is off the chain. Like, who did that? Did you do that? Like, wow, that house is so beautiful. Oh, I love that part of town. Like anything, like we're gonna give them some love back. We're gonna help them with their engagement by commenting and liking. And in turn, they're gonna go, oh, who's this? Like, even if they know what you're doing, even if they're like, oh, I see, they're trying to get me to pay attention to them, whatever, that's great. You're helping them out by commenting and giving them love. So most likely they're going to come and check you out. When then it's up to, depending on your content, if it's right for them, if they follow you or not, or if they end up hiring you. But the more you kind of like, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Mama gave me that one. She truly believes in that one. So follow them. If it's your ideal customer and they have a business, if they're not, as long as they're not like, it's not like a personal account, like where it's just like it's private or something, like that's awkward. But if they are actually trying to do something with their Instagram and they're trying to grow their Instagram, like actually follow them. Don't go and like and comment and then like not give them a follow. That's a little awkward too. This can get people notice. It's like, yeah, if you're just going through and like you're doing engagement on social media and you're scrolling through the people you already follow and just liking stuff and maybe commenting sometimes, no, that's not going to do it. Those, you already follow those people, they might follow you already. That's not going to change anything. That's what I call passive engagement. We're going to switch it up. We're going to do active, intentional engagement. So I want you to choose one of these strategies, do it for the full 80% of the time you're spending on there, half of it right before you post, half of it right after you post. And then number 3 is we're gonna find the people that we're gonna engage with by going and seeing who has engaged with us. So the day before, a couple days before, whatever, anybody that has responded to my stories in a DM, anybody who's commented on my post from yesterday, anybody who's liked something, I'm gonna go and return the favor to them, even if they're not my ideal customer, even if they're not somebody that I could do business with. They engaged with me yesterday. They like something I'm saying. They like something I'm doing. And even if they're not my customer, I'm going to be front of mind for them when their friend or their mom or whatever needs a photographer for their company. So return the favor. This is all, it's karma, you guys. What goes around comes around. I've heard that you should be careful to not overfollow too many accounts. Yeah, you're not going to go through and just like follow everybody that like a million people. You're going to be intentional about it. You don't need to follow to give love, like Nicole said. But if they're really like, if I really want to do work for this business, for like this retail store, and I really want to cultivate a relationship with them, and I want them to pay attention to me and hire me, like why wouldn't I follow them, right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you should go in and just follow a bunch of people. That's not at all what I'm saying. And yeah, you don't want to do things in bulk. Like you don't want to go and copy and paste the same comment over and over and over and over. You don't want to DM a million people the same exact thing. That kind of stuff is going to get you like flagged as like a bot. So don't do that. But anyway, these are the 3 different things I want you to think about. So you're going to go to that pie chart. You're going to say, okay, today I pick, I'm going to go and work my way into the conversation in the party number 1, where my audience is hanging out, and I'm going to be loud and proud in those comments. Number 2, I'm going to actually go and give some love and engage with the types of people who are my ideal customer. Or number 3, I'm going to return the love to the people who have been showing me the love. And if I go and do that with people who commented on my stuff earlier, they're more likely to see, for my stuff to show up on their feed in the algorithm when I post again. So this is something, this is a game changer, you guys. This is a bonus thing. It's going to be, you don't want to use all of your time doing this, but if you can do a bonus give back hour once a week where all you do has nothing to do with, you don't expect anything in return. Okay, you can't, that's the deal. You cannot expect to get a new customer from this. You can't expect somebody to follow you. That's not the point. The point is you are giving back. You're giving back your time to help out other businesses. It's gonna come back to you someday. Support your favorite businesses on social media without expecting anything in return. So what local restaurants have you been to lately? Salons, entertainment, artists, etc. Anything like that. Spend an hour once a week and like and comment, share about them in your stories. If you went to a great restaurant, share it in your stories. Help them get the word out. They will love you for it. And if you want to be the most awesomest person like ever on the planet and have like all of the good juju points, write them a freaking review. If you can like spread positive reviews about businesses like confetti, like you are an amazing person. It takes time to sit down and write a review about a good experience that you had. Don't write bad reviews for businesses. This is now I'm going off, it has nothing to do with this, but life practice, please do not write bad reviews for businesses. If you have a bad experience, contact the business, get a hold of the manager, find out who's in charge, and let them help you deal with it. Let them know what happened. Let them know they had an employee that pissed you off. Don't go to the internet and write a review about them. It is so BS. Don't do that. Okay, that's my like little soapbox about that. Because like let's think about what we want in return. Like if I had an employee that like made somebody angry, it's out of my control, it shouldn't reflect on my entire business. But if somebody is really happy with their service and they go and write a 5-star review, it makes me so happy. Like I'm gonna start crying about thinking about how I feel when a good review comes in. And we only have ever gotten good reviews. Like I don't think we've ever gotten like a really bad review. Even when we had our store, like we had a few people that were like, oh, their stuff's too expensive or something. But like with our photography clients and our services that we offer, we've never not had anything other than great reviews. And that every single time they come in, it's still like, it's like the best gift you could ever give a business. And all of you guys are business owners, so do you agree with that? Like somebody could like give me, I don't know, $1,000 or an awesome raving review. I think I would rather have the review. Okay, great. And if you are going to take the time to write a review, if you're going to do your give back hour, even if you want to just pick 2 businesses that you love, spend the whole time on those 2. Like go deep, not wide on everything, on all this content, on everything I'm teaching you. Let's go deep, not wide. We're not worried about the masses. We're worried about quality. And if you can write a nice review for someone, copy and paste it, put it on Facebook, put it on Google, put it on Yelp. It will just take you a second. It's really like the kindest thing you can do. Okay, I threw that in as like, here's a bonus thing you can do. I love it. And I'm gonna go stretch my body a little bit because now I'm getting settled in. Thank you all so much. Love you guys.